Adele Newton, that's her right there, is a radio host on our own CHYM FM. But this trip took her a long way from the station. So she traveled to Nepal at the end of last year to meet incredible women who are working towards changing their lives thanks to support they've received from World Accord and Women for Peace in Democracy. So Adele, welcome, welcome, welcome. You've been doing this for years. It's the first time we're talking about it on Cityline, but you're helping empower women. How did you why did you want to get into this? Why did you realize you need to be doing this?
Well, first of all, Tracy, thank you for having me, and most importantly, amplifying voices. You are a leader.
Thank you.
In that.
Thank you very much.
Forever grateful. Forever grateful. You really are.
As are you, because you're getting out of your comfort zone and going to areas that are not well traveled. You were in rural Nepal,
yes.
Right?
Yes. In my early 20s, I interned with CNN, and that is when I first realized that white privilege is not an accusation, it's a fact. But we weren't using that language at that point. And I remember being in one of the largest slums in East Africa, Kibera, and saying if I ever got to a point in my career where I could amplify voices, I would. It was my responsibility. So going to Nepal and aligning myself with World Accord and working with them over the past 15 years, has been incredible, and it's beautiful. And what's happening in Nepal because of World Accord and Women for Peace and Democracy is changing the world. It's all about empowering people.
Right.
It's not about white savior syndrome and showing up and dropping off a bunch of T-shirts and holding babies. It's about grassroots change and sustainability. It's about creating leaders.
Right. See, I'm happy you said that, because I did hear about this segment. We were going to be doing this segment on the show, and I was sort of like, oh gosh, are we going to be doing some white saviorism stuff on Cityline, which I don't really support. What I do support, though, is you going out there and lifting other voices so that we can hear from people who don't usually have a microphone. So thank you for that. Talk to us about your trip to Nepal, the amazing women you met. Well, the place where you were?
Yeah. Well, World Accord works in many different countries, but this time we went to Nepal.
Yeah.
We worked with 1,800 marginalized women. It's about 6.5 hours northwest of Kathmandu. There's no tourism there, I will tell you that. And we brought along Ontario egg farmers, because what Women for Peace and Democracy is all about is about providing tools and education to local women so they are empowered to make change within their own community. The truth is, with an income, you have a voice, and they are now able to stand up against domestic violence.
Okay, all right, excellent, excellent. Sounds incredible. We actually get to have a first-hand look at your experience, because you were out there recording your experience. Let's take a look.
Shobha, you are a hero. Like, you really are. You are a hero. What does it mean to you when you visit the villages and you see the growth and the improvement in the women that are a part of your programs?
When we met them, they were living in a very, very bad situation, economically very poor. They were struggling to have one meal per day. And when they extend their gratitude, it's very hard for me.
Kristen, how does it make you feel? Like, what you're supporting is helping women like Shobha change their country.
It honestly makes me want to go back to Canada and tell as many people as possible about Shobha's story, about the work that she supports, about World Accord's unique approach to supporting organizations like Shobha's, and really try and garner as much support as possible to keep this work going.
In our community, there used to be lots of violence cases, but these group meetings has encouraged the women to speak and share and discuss about their problem.
How incredible that you were involved with Women for Peace and Democracy, and now you're motivating and encouraging other women to get involved. Tell us about that.
They are not educated people, but after participating in the adult literacy training, they they were able to understand and learn the letters and then read and write. And then they become the member of the women group, and they realize that there needs to be unity among the women members, and there needs to be a sisterhood in the community.
How many women does she motivate to make change in their life on behalf of Women for Peace and Democracy?
31 जना छ. So there are 31 members.
What would you say, Shobha, is the biggest change that you've seen in your communities since you've been involved?
I would say the leadership. I have worked with so many people. All the women I worked with have started to take the leadership. Maybe the scale would be high. Some are already up, some are still down. Some are who are scrolling, some are started to walk, and some are started running. So they have taken the leadership roles. They have started to say no to women violence. They are entrepreneurs. They are independent. They are very good business women as well.
Those women who are unable to express and raise their voice against violence, for those voice, there are other women who are speaking for the voiceless. This has helped in reducing the gender-based violence and caste discrimination in our community.
Do you want to come join me for a Nepali celebration? I think you're going to love it.
It's emotional watching it because this is like family now for you.
Yeah, and one of the ladies that I was interviewing, and forgive me for getting emotional, it's just...
You never have to apologize for that around here.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
this is a place where tears might spontaneously come out, and it's a safe space, so please feel all the feels.
It was difficult interviewing a woman who was telling you that she was currently being physically abused. And then we had to shut the interview down, Tracy, and you can appreciate this because sometimes things don't always translate. The environment doesn't translate to tape. But a drunk, aggressive man came out during the interview and we had to shut it down. And I remember walking away thinking, oh my goodness, is she gonna get beaten after this interview? And it only reinforces the importance of empowering women like Shobha to create leaders in their community so they can stand up against domestic violence and defend themselves. The truth is, marginalized women in Nepal don't even have basic human rights.
Now, they said a few things in that interview or in that tape that we just saw: gender-based violence, caste system. You talked a little bit about the gender-based violence. Talk to me about caste system, because here we have big class divide.
That's right.
There it's caste.
That's right.
And it seems a little bit more impenetrable.
Yes. The reality is nobody chooses where they're born.
Right.
So if you are a female that is born in Nepal and you are of a certain caste, you are alienated even by your own community. So here you are as a female or a young girl. You're already not valued or considered equal. And now all of a sudden there's a caste system in place and you belong to a certain caste. You can't even use or have access to certain roads. So Women for Peace and Democracy and Shobha, they have all these different programs. And if women want to get involved and be a part of that sisterhood, that family, they can't subscribe to that. Everyone is equal. And the best part is young boys and girls are watching women stand up for themselves.
Women are leading the way. Leading the way, I tell ya. Just a quick word to what people can do here to help, because we're big on action around here. Is there anything we can be doing in our world to help?
Clearly, donating is a great thing, but we all know that not everyone is in the situation that they can do that. More importantly, awareness. You know, if you meet someone from Nepal now you may have a greater understanding about where they come from. When you see a woman who is working 4 jobs and sending money back to her family, you know, there is a new respect for that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can go to worldaccord.org's website and make a donation directly to Women for Peace and Democracy.
And I like that you make the translation as well. Any newcomer to Canada
That's
might be
right.
struggling a bit. You might be from an immigrant family. You might have multi-generations living in
right.
one house. You might have an accent. Be compassionate.
Yes.
Understand that people are working because they care about their families.
Yes.
And we all want the same things in life. We want a safe life.
Yes.
Where we can love the people that we love, right? So thank you for that compassion and for bringing it here, Adele. If you want more info about how to donate and to learn more about these incredible women, head over to cityline.tv. Good work.